So what happens is that when we're young and we come in, um, we are fully ourselves, right? We're whole. We just don't have language. We can't take care of ourselves. But we know who we are. And then through the course of our lives, usually somewhere between 18 months and 3 to 4 years, we start to realize, okay, my emotions are too big. I need to be smaller. I'm not okay. This is what it means to be a good girl. This is what it means to be a good boy. I have to, for boys, I think it's exceptionally hard. You can't show emotion. Boys don't cry.
It's really hard. Yeah.
Very, very hard. I feel empathy for men who have such challenging programming in this patriarchal society. But women get it too. We just get different programming.
And you're a good girl.
Yeah. And this is what it means to be a good girl. Like, you can't be sexy. You can't, you whatever it is. We all learn these things. Or too fat or whatever. And
or you're good when you help people.
Yeah, you're good when you help people.
At the expense of yourself.
Absolutely, yeah. Being a martyr is the way to be a good woman. And this is what it means to be a good wife, and this is what it means to be a good daughter, and you have to give, or whatever the programming is. Those are the things that cause us to forget who we are, because our source, our connection is always there, right? I see it as that's the connection to our source, and then we just keep forgetting these different things that we're programmed to. No matter how wonderful our parents are, no matter how nurturing and supportive our teachers, society is, it's oftentimes about a misperception. It's oftentimes not because our parents were mean to us. I mean, they could, people have trauma too, and that's a bigger wound potentially, but we all have wounds. We all have little T traumas. We all have forgotten who we really are. And as you mentioned, the body is acutely aware of that, and it will start to speak in the only language that it has: symptoms and sensations. And as with anything, the body will start quietly, gently nudging. Oh, I have that left knee pain, or I have a little headache, and it comes now and then when I'm angry at my parents, but it's not okay to be angry at my parents because we have to honor our parents, or whatever, right? And then it gets louder and louder. The less we're really in alignment with who we really are, because the body is the voice piece of the soul. And when we don't honor ourselves, when we don't honor who we truly are, those emotions get trapped in the body. There's issues in the tissues. Well, where do the issues come from? It's usually from self-judgment about what we should do, shouldn't do, etc. And the energetic stuff that gets stuck is where the symptoms show up. If we're not speaking our truth, where do we get issues? Get them in the thyroid, right?
Neck, shoulders.
Exactly. When we're not fully expressing our hearts, we get blocked blood vessels in the heart, right? You get coronary artery disease. When we keep swallowing everybody else's bullshit and not expressing ourselves, what do we get? Heartburn. I got to keep pushing it down because it's not okay to actually say or whatever it is that you want to get rid of. I mean, these are the idea is the body is a map. And we can use the body's map to identify what it is and how it is that we may not be showing up for ourselves as self-honoring as we could be. And, my map is going to be slightly different from your map. And there are maps from traditional Chinese medicine and the chakra system and, people like Louise Hay and other medical intuitives. And you can also recognize that there are personal maps. But I think collectively there's an opportunity to look at maps as a way to identify what the issues are. But that's all coming from here, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that doesn't solve the problem. So even if you have an idea of what the problem is, that doesn't solve the problem.
No.
So what do we actually have to do? We have to feel our feelings.
Mm-hmm. Yes, so true.
The body provides the way in, and it points to where the emotion is being held. And then underneath that sensation or symptom is the emotion that needs to be felt.
Yeah. So where you're feeling, where your body is speaking in whatever symptom, or it could be tightness or any of those symptoms, that is where you need to allow it to speak.
Correct.
And feel.
And giving yourself permission. So this is the simple but not easy. So giving yourself permission to express whatever it is that you find there. If it's fear, if it's rage, if it's anguish, and then let that out. And part of the reason that it's hard or not easy is because we're terrified to feel our feelings, which is why we've stuffed them in for so long.
Well, I think, as you said, when we were little, we were told if we did express ourselves too much, or if someone considered it was too much, then we may have been punished for it, or we were shamed for it, or any of those things. And so that we learned that lesson, and that came from people we needed to care for us and protect us.
Absolutely.
So we quickly learned those behavioral adaptations, as I like Gabor Mate calls them, behavioral adaptations, to keep that down and not do it.
Right. And that's all beautiful and it's all great, right? Because it gave us coping mechanisms and skills and tools. I wouldn't be a physician if my life was perfect as a kid. You wouldn't be an engineer. You wouldn't be a functional health coach. You wouldn't have, you wouldn't have written a book. You wouldn't have this podcast. You wouldn't have done any of these things if life was perfect. So it unfolds exactly the way that it's supposed to unfold, right? So it's really about looking at things and saying, okay, well, maybe it's a rose-colored glasses, Kelly, but the truth is, like, why not? Why look at things from a negative perspective? Why not say, let's see all the beautiful things that come out of something that are challenging? I don't know about you, Jane, but I don't learn when life is easy.
No, and I think it'll sort of keep coming around. Well, we were talking about that, the nudge, starting with the nudges and so on. So if we ignore it and when it comes around again and we keep ignoring it, it's just going to keep speaking louder and louder because this true part of us wants to express.
It's like, I'm coming in. It's coming in.
I'm here. I'm ready to go.
No.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't see it for myself. I didn't see it that way in the beginning. Of course, when you're in pain, or for everyone watching, listening, if you've got these severe health conditions, it certainly doesn't feel like, thank you for bringing me this lesson. No. It doesn't feel like that at the time. But that's the challenge, isn't it? That's the part that's not easy, is to shift the perspective. And well, at least, I mean, how do you suggest starting? Like starting with curiosity?
Absolutely.
Starting with openness?
Exactly. Yeah.